Hey, welcome back. We just finished semis for the MSI, so now we're moving into something different. My name is John Finch. This is going to be the Splyce Invitational, and in particular, this is going to be the draft show here for the All-Star event where we're bringing in someone from everywhere. I mean, it's going to be a whole bunch of fun, but don't worry, I'm not breaking it down all by myself. I got Tom F. Battinger here joining me. We're going to be going through the draft show. It's going to be SCL, SML, SPL, all kind of fun stuff. Tom, you have got to be looking forward to this.
I really am, man. It's going to be a ton of fun. We got a whole group of different people coming together. We've got console players, we've got minor league players, we've got pro league players, we've got Splyce players. It's gonna be fun.
That's right, man. Splyce gonna have to be on every team. Don't worry, there's gonna be a lot of different format rules. We're gonna go through all of that, break it down for you. If you're wondering, who's going where, what's allowed, well then don't worry any longer. We're going through it. 4-round snake-style draft to get things started. So they'll be going in order, and then back around again with that fourth pick going twice in a row. To keep it fair, captains must get at least one SML player for their team. They must get one of the Splyce players that completed the Smite World Championship at DreamHack Atlanta, so specifically Aurora, Cyclone Spin, had to be picked up for that one as well. Captains must get 2 SPL players, and they can't get more than 1 SPL player from the same team either. So you can have 2, but you can't go getting, Trix Tank and Cubo Fred, like from Dignitas on your team as well. They got to be from one place. And look at it, it's a full house. It is packed in there right now because that's how many players are available in the pool from them to pick from.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a big event. We very rarely have this many players in the building, so the energy is certainly electric. Everybody kind of excited to figure out where they're going to go.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be interesting for this one. Definitely going to be excited. So that's kind of the rundown for it. There's 4 teams, obviously: Juggernauts, Manticores, Titans, Minotaurs, and I know that doesn't mean much to you all by itself. That's because there's not even a team associated with it right now. So 4 SCL captains are the ones who are going to be captaining each one of these teams. For Juggernauts, it's Layers. Minotaurs, that's Dinosaur. He is the support for Team Rival. For Titans, that's Matt Coys. That's Nemesis' support. And then for Minotaurs, it's Just Lion. That's the Hunter from Out Cold. That's PS4 EU. So that means console are actually the ones kind of driving the ship here, Tom. They're going to be the ones picking who's going to join them.
Here's Layers right now trying to figure out his microphone situation. I don't even know if that comes to us. I think he's just talking to admins right now. That's how the players are going to communicate with the folks backstage to figure out how these drafts are going to go. So Layers, powerful jungler in his own right, and whoever winds up on his team, I think, is going to be happy about their situation there.
That's a good point. Yeah, Layers is picking first. Whoever is on the team is a pretty solid jungler right from the get-go, don't they? So that could potentially be one of the stronger teams. But that's kind of what Tom and I are going to be up here breaking down, right, is who we think they're going to be picking from. And again, we're starting with Splyce here first. So this very first round, they're going to be picking from those 3 Splyce players to get things started off. And remember, Moswall and Divios, we don't have here, so they'll be picking from Cyclone Spin, Aurora, and then Sino for who they're going to have on their team.
I don't think Layers is going to pick Sino.
That's a good point, because Layers, I assume, would want to be in the jungle then. So, yeah, he's going to be picking. I think as far as some gamesmanship, because there's 2 other supports here, maybe you take Cyclone Spin and see if you can force a support player to maybe also have to pick Aurora and see if they can throw him off. I know Aurora can go to a lot of other places, but maybe there's some gamesmanship there.
See, this is kind of like Aggro brought up the Magic reference. I'm going to do it here. This is like kind of, do you rare draft? Do you plan for the future?
Sure.
You could absolutely do the gamesmanship. I think that's the right call. If you're trying to win right now, you can pick that up or figure out different things that'll enable your future to be a little bit better.
Well, whenever we have our pick, we go down to Cooper, our commissioner, to declare that pick. Hopefully he can get this one right. Let's get it down there to Cooper to announce that first pick for the Juggernauts.
Hey everyone, my name's Steven Cooper, Commissioner of the Smite Pro League, and with the first pick in the Splyce International Invitational Draft will be Cyclone Spin for the Juggernauts.
You love to hear it, right? Sounds like they picked Cyclone Spin, just like I was thinking for that first pick. Maybe just because Cyclone Spin's nutty, but some gamesmanship to leave that support in there too, I think.
Absolutely. This is the strategy of Layers wants to take this tournament as is. I was thinking kind of the other way. Maybe he would pick up a Roar so he could audition for the Pro League. You do well on Aurora's team, and you're like, hey, boys, what's good with Season 7? But Layers, thinking about the game here and now, wants to take it. So Cyclone Spin, Hunter Extraordinaire. And I like that choice, obviously, because, as you said, the gamesmanship supports across the way. So, yeah. But also, Cyclone Spin is incredibly versatile and has played different positions in the past.
That's right, yeah.
You've got a lot of things going on here.
Already got the Juggernaut jersey there for Cyclone Spin. Going to be the Hunter. And I'm glad you brought that up. He doesn't necessarily have to be the Hunter on that team, right? You don't have to go into that role. So Cyclone Spin can go back to solo like the AFK days, too, and potentially add some flexibility. I think this is a really strong pick for Layers and for the Juggernauts to come out of the gate hot.
Personally, my favorite team that Cyclone Spin was on was Melior Morier.
Oh, yeah. Melior Morior. What was it? Yeah,
it was named after some distant cousin of Bilbo Baggins from the Lord of the Rings series, I think.
That's
but
right.
Cyclone Spin, I think, can absolutely put him under the wire.
Man, that's like when you smell something from your past. You brought that. That's pulling me back to something. Yeah, I remember that team. That's so crazy.
You know who's the best at Melior Morier jokes? Which, by the way, we didn't have a Green Room podcast back then, but that's all we did was make fun of that team name. Shout out to Scott Gandhi for consistently the best jokes at Melior Morier's expense.
That's very funny. Now, because we're doing the snake draft format, remember, that means that Layers won't be picking again for a long time.
Yeah.
We're going to be going on to our next team. It's going to come all the way back around to him. So Cyclone Spin better give him a ton of value because it's going to be a while before he's able to come back. It is that snake draft format. So we'll be going on to the second team now, which should be on the clock. Looks like that's Just Lion from Out Cold for the Minotaurs that will be picking second here, Tom.
Just Lion, he's a guy that's really plugged into the community right now. That Matt Coys will come up a little bit later. So when I look at Just Lion, remember the console scenes, the PC scenes, they generally kind of keep to themselves. Fans, most notably, but the players as well. Just Lion, however, is one of these players that kind of jumps between the different scenes. He's consistently in some of the top streamers' chats. You might recognize him if you're consistently watching the Smite streamers that everybody knows and loves. So with that in mind, I think Just Lion might have a bit of a better feel of the pulse of the players at large, and who might fit well with him in his squad.
Well, I'm saying down here, Titans are on the clock. So Titans are on the clock. It's Matt Coys then. So we'll make sure we get it confirmed here for you all in just a minute. If it's Titan, it's Matt Coys that are picking. So actually, Cooper already has the pick in. Let's go down to Commissioner Coop to make the first pick here for it announced.
With the second pick in the Splyce Invitational, Titans select Venenu.
All right, Venenu has been picked. And then he said it's the Titans, so that is Matt Coys' team then. So that is the PS4 team, the Nemesis, that is picked here. So Matt Coys has selected Venenu to go along here with him. Now, I did think that we had to be picking from the Splyce team that won, right? So can they take Venenu then in that case? We'll certainly get it corrected then for you.
Well, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. If it was the case that you have to have you have to have all of the members from the World Championship Splyce winning team on your squad, there's only 3 of them available. So if you are one of the 4 teams and you select a player not there, you force the other 2 remaining in the draft to have to go to those 2 players, both Aurora and
Aurora and Sino, yeah.
Aurora and Sino. So by this secondary pick going off script and grabbing somebody else like Venenu, it's going to be Aurora and Kabam will be here local. Sino out of the picture, and so that opens up your opposition to have to choose between the other 2 players.
Well, then that makes it more interesting then, right? Because Kabam's comfort zone, I think he played solo for them when they had to put him as a support. But Kabam does also play some Hunter, right, as well. I think that's kind of where his more personal comfort zone might be. So there's a lot of flexibility with that one. But Venenu's a great sort of plug and pick and play player, I would say. He's kind of bounced around a good bit throughout his career, and everywhere he goes, he always plays consistently. This makes sense to me for Matt Coys to go ahead and grab Ven.
Yeah, and also I think it fits kind of the idea. Matt Coys likes to just enjoy the game, and I think Venenu kind of has that same sort of mentality and outlook as well. So I think these guys will kind of mesh as far as their personalities are concerned. And this is a fun invitational. You know, this is Splyce. This is a celebration, baby. And I think this is going to be more fun for these guys.
I think so too. That is a very chill team that you mentioned there, right? As currently constituted. So we got our next team on the clock here now. They'll be trying to make their decision. Of course, it will be running through Commissioner Coop. And it's Aurora and then Kabam that are left for them to try and pick through here too. And if we're going towards Just Lion, the Hunter, I imagine then he'd rather have Aurora. But if we're going towards Dinosaur, then maybe pick up Kabam and have him be the Hunter for the team, since obviously I imagine Dinosaur would want to be support. So it should be a little bit, I guess, clear cut then based on who is going to be that one that's next pick.
It's exactly my thought process there, John. I really feel like, it kind of makes sense looking at the positions that our captains have been playing.
Yeah, and Minotaur should be Just Lion, I believe. Then.
Yes.
So then, okay. So then very likely then we imagine picking Aurora in that
for
situation.
Sure. Yeah, and like I said, the number 2 selection did a great job. I'm excited to see what they do with number 3.
Well, let's get down to Commissioner Coop to make the pick.
With the third pick, the Minotaurs select Aurora.
Look at her. Wait, me? No way they're picking me for this one, huh? Right? No way. Yeah. Well, obviously, with them being the hunter, he'd want Aurora to go alongside him. That makes a ton of sense to me. No big surprise. And then also, Aurora happens to be nutty. By the way, if you're against this team, don't let them pick Hercules. Please, for the love of God. That dude plays Herc so well.
He really does, man. Herc support has been something that Aurora does, and other people have tried, but it's Aurora's for sure. So yeah, you got to ban the Herc. But that's the thing, is that as we watch these highlight reels, it's all Kumba. Aurora can do it on pretty much any of the characters come out. He has been doing it on pretty much any of the characters come out. That's a scary face. Oh wait, surprise!
Dude, love me some Aurora. I'm here to sign up. Great pick there for Minotaurs versus Just Lion.
Cooper, on the other hand, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Cooper, extremely. Why are you doing that? You should be enjoying that jersey. Why are you having fun?
No.
I'm Cooper.
Man, fine.
Fine, exactly. That's right. I walked in late the other day. Believe it or not, I came in late once or twice, and Coop fined me for it. That's just how Coop likes to do it. So next up is going to be Manticores, and I imagine there's not much decision to be made here, right? It's got to be Kabam that they add onto the squad.
It's going to be Kabam. Dinosaur right now looking at the stats, tossing over all of his options. There's a couple of variables. Let's see what happens.
With the fourth pick in the Splyce Invitational, the Manticores select Kabam and Baskin.
That's right, because they go they go, it's snake draft, so they go twice in a row. Okay, so that makes sense. So they took their picks both at the same time. So
there's Kabam.
Obviously it was Kabam. Oh, good work there, Tom. That is indeed Kabam. Good work, Tom. Man, you're tier 2ing like a pro up here for me. I love it. That's good energy. And then obviously they took Baskin in the back end. So in a world where you had to pick Kabam, you take him. You're not exactly sandbagged, by the way. You love to have Kabam on your team. But then, so now we go to your actual first overall pick, and obviously take Baskin, right?
Yes.
This is the first overall pick technically, and yeah, you take Baskin.
One of my favorite jokes in the Smite community is also a fact. Baskin's the best player in the world.
He's really good.
You know, we like to make that joke, and then we watch him play, and he is.
Yes.
He just is.
Very, very good.
Doesn't surprise me.
So that means then it should be the Minotaurs with Just Lion on the clock here next, right? Because the Snake, again, Layers is the furthest one away since he was the Juggernauts. He picked first. We just did Manticores. They went twice. Now we come right back over to Just Lion, and they are currently
stand on the X.
Just Lion and Aurora and Just Lion with the Hunter.
You stand on the
so that
X,
means they already have Aurora as their support,
jersey.
so they still need a mid, jungle, or soul laner to go along with that.
That certainly makes
Just
sense.
hold it.
Well, right now we've got the jersey selection here, trying to figure out where to stand, and Baskin kind of moseys his way in.
Coop's got to make sure he's in frame. Good work there, Coop. Baskin, be happy about something that's happening in your life.
There he is. We got a smile out of him after the fact. I saw that.
No, Aurora physically made him smile. Yeah, that does Baskin. That had to be forced into being happy about something.
Well, it worked. Sometimes if you, I got nothing. I don't know where I'm going. But Baskin, fantastic pick here. What do you say about the man? There is so much to say about. He is, jokes aside, one of the most impactful players on the battlefield. He's been doing it for a number of years. He could do it in different positions.
Also flexible, like we said for Cyclone, right? Yeah, he could go in wherever role they need, and that's critical. You obviously would love to have him in solo, where he's been practicing lately. But if you later on in the draft maybe don't get exactly what you want, Baskin can flex into the mid lane like he did when he was on Space Station United. I mean, he's got some room.
I will take this draft as it comes, and if I need to, Baskin can frickin' jungle for all I care.
Sure.
That's what this guy, he's that good. I don't care what position he's playing. I've got Baskin on my team, and for me, that's a wild card. He's now just this asterisk that I can put wherever I want. So
yeah, I don't think there's any reason you couldn't also pick Benji or Deathwalker on this team, right? Have one of those guys go solo. I don't think if you're Manticores, don't feel like you're counted out or stuck into a corner at all in this one. But again, it is Minotaurs who are on the clock here now. They have Hunter support. Mid laner still picking. Where do you think they might go with this? I mean, Zeros, right, is still out there. You would certainly love to have someone like him on your team right now. I mean, Vin's already been taken, so you can't have him. Then you go down to, I suppose, Rival came to this event. Maybe you want to try and go to the mid lane there, grab Panda Cat. I mean, there's some options.
I think you pick on her. Dardes. I think you go ahead and get Dardes right for the mid lane. I think he's just been outstanding. There is a conversation about Dardes only working with his current team, but we'll see what happens.
Well, let's go down to Commissioner Coop. He's got the pick.
With their pick in the second round, the Minotaurs will select the jungler Adapting.
Okay, well, that makes sense then for me, right? Pick up adapting. If you can't have Baskin, you go to the other best player in the world, right? Which would then be young man Kennett adapting for you in the jungler, adding into Just Lion and Aurora. And that's also a very strong team. Now, keep in mind, you can only have 2 SPL players on your team, I believe. So these 2 teams, Minotaurs and Manticores, have already grabbed the only SPL players they have. They have to go in and grab some SML to go along with that, too.
Yeah, so like you said, adapting, this is, if there's a conversation of best player in the world, adapting is involved in that conversation. And he has been forever. I mean, taking adapting is an easy choice. It's like taking baby from a candy. Nice and easy.
That's a great deep cut there on adapting. But yes, also versatile. Maybe not as much this season 6. I feel like he's had kind of refined his identity here in season 6. He's been picking these assassins, but that's just for the Minotaurs. For Manticores who picked already, they've got Baskin on their team. So you have a chance to hear a little bit about what he's thinking. Let's go down to Baskin.
We've got number 1 overall non-Splyce pick because Kabam legally needed to get picked before him, but Dinosaur immediately snap takes both of them. Baskin, number 1 overall, just like LeBron James. Your career paths continue to be exactly the same.
I mean, of course, everyone saw this coming. I mean, pretty obvious number 1 pick. You know, what can I say? I'm not surprised.
Are you surprised at all that Scream is not going to get drafted? We're just assuming here, of course, but I mean, you've been carrying him for so long on various roles. Are you worried that he's going to end up on your team by accident?
Yeah, I mean, I really hope we don't draft him. That'd be a really big mistake by the front office. But yeah, I mean, we shouldn't expect to see him in this All-Star event.
The good news for you, last time you were in an All-Star event or kind of a fun event, aggression kind of ran wild on you. I did get a report that he will not be attending this, so are you feeling better now?
Yeah, I mean, that just means the league's wide open. Like when Jordan retired, you know, the Houston Rockets could take the chip. That's kind of us right now.
The Manticore is primed and ready to take the win. Baskin, thank you very much, and we'll throw it back to you on the desk, Finch.
I have to look around. I know he said aggression's not here, but I think we have to make sure that he's literally not lurking somewhere. That could be horrifying, not just for those in the game, but for everyone here at the studio. He's just that dominant of a person, really, just truly.
One of the biggest things when you're talking about Baskin, obviously we mentioned his all-out dominance, his flexibility, his different approaches to the game. Also from Long Island, which is a big thing.
That is huge. Yeah, that matters.
So got to talk about that one for sure.
That's certainly worth bringing up. So the next one that's going to be picking is going to be the Titans, that team led by Matt Coys. We'll have Commissioner Coop announce the pick.
With their round 2 pick, Titans select Benji.
No surprise there. Benji has been selected. Oh, of course, too cool to have known what's going on. Checking the phone in the middle of all that.
Twitter
and then
is
Benji
down.
Drafted.
This doesn't work. Twitter's down, homie. We know you're paying attention. Benji, the most intentionally aloof person I have ever met. But at the end of the day, you know, it's funny. If somebody gave me this list, I would absolutely believe it. Benji has been, I think, the underdog best player for a while. What I mean by that is everybody always talks about adapting and Baskin, but once you crack that kind of surface level conversation and you sit there for a minute with your friends and you go, but who actually does it? You start saying things like Benji and Yaman.
No.
And so with Benji coming here, doesn't surprise me. If you're looking for just all-out one-on-one dominance, this like kind of bully-esque play, which tends to excel in these exhibition for fun tournaments, you look for Benji, and I think he can do it.
And I want to make sure we put a point on this. The first 2 matches in this set, the semis are best of 1s now into a best of 3 final. Do you think that factors in who can just win me 1 game of Smite? That's all I need. I'm thinking he's going to win me 1 game of Smite. I might take Benji in all honesty, even over some of these other 2, because Benji can be a bit tricky in what he'll play sometimes. He could pull out an assassin over there that you don't expect and just win you the game all of a sudden.
He got a wide god pool. Gotta love what he's able to bring. And then, like I said earlier, his ability to play one-on-one Smite.
Sure.
We've ascended to this real team sort of dominance where it's all team fights, and you know your support is going to seamlessly set up for your jungle, for your mid, etc.
Yeah.
And when you boil it down to this, where players are not used to playing with each other as much, really what you get is I'm gonna beat up my lane dog, and then in 20 minutes we'll all come together and see what happens. If you're looking for somebody to do that, Benji is going to beat up his lane dog.
Well, Juggernaut's going to be the ones next picking. That's Layers. And because of the snake format, I believe Layers should be picking twice here in a row. So he'll be getting his 3rd and 4th pick basically here all at once. Right now, he already is himself, obviously, the jungler. And then Cyclone Spin was what he took first, the hunter. So he still needs himself then a mid, a solo laner, and a support still on this team. So we'll see what it is that he picks. It looks like he just put him in. Let's get down to Commissioner Coop.
With back-to-back picks, the Juggernaut select Trix Tank and Deathwalker.
Oh, I absolutely love this, Finch. I absolutely love this. Tricks Tank, he's dynamic. He's loving it. He's excited. Maybe he's mad.
Oh wait, I gotta go. Okay, all right then. What is that? Was that D? What was that? V. I don't know.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to do it on
Yeah,
camera.
don't. Just in case you don't know, which might be signaling.
So I love these picks because you've got 3 players that'll do whatever the hell they want. Tricks Tank will play support Jean-Qui. Deathwalker will go over there in the solo lane and play Ares. Literally, he's done it in competitive games. I'm not kidding. Watch the VOD. And then, of course, you've got Baskin, which is plug and play. So you've got a number of amorphous players that can play various different things. You're not drafting yourself a guy that, well, this guy plays tank and this guy plays aggressive. This is a strategy that, well, we're going to see what we wind up with and decide what to play because all of these guys can play all of the picks.
This is a lot of talent that's been selected right now, though, man. I mean, I'm very excited for how these matches are actually going to go. And then, like you said, I think what's also being really valid here, because obviously there's a ton of talent that has been picked, is that these guys are also all really known for being able to play just about anything. So like what you said. So there are some question marks here to what people are going to be picking, especially because of the format. I mean, catching your opponent off guard is hugely valuable, potentially, in these next matches that are going to be happening. I mean, I think Layers done a really good job. Layers, Cyclone Spin, Tricks Tank, and Deathwalker is the team that he has right now. That's scary. And there's still a ton of good mid laners to grab.
Layers is, oh man, it's going to be a while for him to pick.
You're right, yeah.
It would be, if Layers winds up with Baronic in that mid lane, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
If Layers winds up with Baronic in the mid lane, we leave and go home because it's over already. But I think somebody's might make that move before him.
It might end up getting grabbed. But I mean, hey, if he gets overlooked, Layers the kind of person that would not overlook him.
Yeah, exactly. He literally plays on his team right now.
That's right, yeah. So no way that he would end up letting that one go by. So the next one on the clock is going to be Titans, again with the Snake Draft. They'll be coming in on the back end. That's Matt Koi's team. He's the support. Venenu and Benji already picked up for that team then, so he already has the solo laner, mid laner support himself. He still needs then a hunter to go along with this, and then a jungler as well. So let's go down to Coop. Sounds like he's already made up his mind. Commissioner Coop, what you got?
In round 3, the Titans select Mask.
Where is he?
They're
Where's
selecting
Mask?
Mask.
Oh,
You can see the Armada boys laughing in the back, so he must be nearby. There it is, young man Mask, the Guan Yu himself, right? Yeah. Well, wait, yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense then. In case they end up playing Layers, they need someone also really good at Guan Yu so they can take it away from Layers. That's smart. That's really good thinking.
Sure, I think Mask is just that damn good, man.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's good, obviously.
No, I think it's fun to kind of watch Mask go ahead and do his thing. As you said, able to pick up the Guan Yu and can play the counter matchup if need be. Really love the choice of Mask. I think he's one of the players that can bring that sort of direction to the squads. It's a lot of fun, and we're here to just see what happens in a single game series. But at some point, you're going to want somebody to call a shot, and Mask will absolutely be that person.
Yeah, it's a great point from Koi's to kind of pick, or for Koi's rather, to pick someone on the team who could be a bit of a leader in that room. Yeah. There's multiple times he's been brought in specifically for that point to a team, right? Not just someone who's really strong, but someone who can kind of be that shot call for the team too. That might be something that they need, and maybe even give them a bit of an edge. Though I want to hear a little bit more from those players themselves. Aggro standing by with Deathwalker for an interview.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, I've got Deathwalker here. Deathwalker, you're a really serious guy. You have a little bit of trouble kind of cutting loose, taking it easy. Or do you think you're going to fit in this kind of environment?
No, there's no way. None of these players are as serious as I am. So I think it's just going to collapse fast.
It could be tough, especially with guys like Tricks Tank. I mean, he's trolling all the time. I mean, are you going to have to keep him in line, maybe teach him a thing or two?
I don't know. A player like that, I don't think it's possible to teach him anything, but I'll try my hardest. I think Cyclone might be able to put him in line. Cyclone looks kind of like a killer. So.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I want to get out of this booth as fast as possible then. Finch, please take it. I'm out.
Oh my God, is it really cool? I love that. From Deathwalker, of course, is on that Juggernauts team, the one that Layers has picked up. So they're all in our booths already, kind of hanging out, getting to know each other a little bit, filling them out slowly. And apparently he's a little bit worried about Cyclone.
Yeah, I mean, Cyclone hits this 1,000-yard stare every once in a while where he's just out there just thinking about Gacha games or something.
You guys know where some anime might be at? I really wanted to get one of those really long body pillows, but I think they sold out before I got there.
John's not doing any sort of impersonation. That's just John Finch.
No way. Don't tell anybody about that. Cut this. It's Minotaurs are on the clock though now. They've already got Aurora adapting and just lying on that team. Hunter, support, and jungler still need then mid and solo laner to try and go along with them. And I think mid might be one that people need to start grabbing. It's been getting kind of overlooked at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see if that's what it is. Let's go down to Commissioner Coop.
The Minotaurs select from Sanguine Esports, Shinto.
It looks like Cooper's got horns.
It does, but they absolutely did go down to the mid lane with this pick. I love it. They've grabbed Shinto for the team already, and he really is a strong pick. A lot of people say he's the carry for Sanguine. I think that they're right. This guy's a really strong, sort of adaptable player, too, to add into their mix.
Shinto's going to be a lot of fun also, for what it's worth, people at home. Language barrier not really there. These guys all speak pretty good English, so
Yes.
they can absolutely come in and squeeze in to the rest of the fold. So representing Latin America, but should not be a problem as far as communication is concerned. I mean, yeah, it was the performance, that we saw earlier from Shinto in our midseason invitational, the tournament that's happening this week, was really fun to watch. And in all honesty, Shinto kind of pulled out some meta stuff, some of his own pocket picks as well. I like the pick. He's got a lot of flavor.
That's a great point there, Tom, but you have to have one SML player on your team. Everyone does. And if you're going to pick an SML mid laner,
Yeah.
it's Meerkat. I don't understand why you would want. I don't know, man. This just doesn't. I'm looking at my calculations right now, and you get Meerkat, right? If you have to get an SML mid laner, come on, Tom.
It'll be tough when you're talking about these all-star events. You know, when you have this many stars in
Right.
the same room, it can be tough to put a superstar like Meerkat
Right.
in that same equation.
Yeah.
It just might be too much like prowess for every team.
It could
to
literally
hold.
overflow the booth that they're in, right? And so maybe
Exactly.
that's what they're considering. It's a bit of a trap. Tom, you're smarter than I am, man. That's why you're over there in that chair 2 seat. Commissioner Coop, though, is ready for the next pick for Manicore. Should be 2 in a row. Let's get to Coop.
It's the brain throne.
The Manicore select from Renegades, Cherio, and from Armada, Meerkat.
I told you! You gotta get him. There's no way you can go any other path. Meerkat, the collegiate champion selected. I mean, Cherio's one thing. Yes, incredibly talented, always near at the finals of tournaments on Renegades. If we just saw Stomp, that's nothing to me. Meerkat has been selected for the Manicores. This might be over already.
Well, here's the deal. They pick the man with the smallest ego, the most humble person on the face of the planet in Cherio.
Yes.
So that Meerkat fits in. It's all about enabling the equilibrium. You've got to be able to balance everything. I always talk about if you have too many tanky characters, then you can put assassin someplace else. Well, you got to do the same thing with personalities. Meerkat, baby, collegiate champion. Let's hear it for Illinois.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or is it Indiana?
Yeah, absolutely exciting, obviously, that Meerkat's on the team. But, of course, Cherio is insane for this team, too. That's a great pick that that the Manticores have gotten. Let's go. I'm going to go through their team for you really quick. That's Dinosaur Kabam on this team, Baskin, Cherio, and Meerkat. So, obviously, the Manticores are a really strong team that they've selected there for themselves. And Cherio is hot right now. He can play so many different things for you in that jungle role, can give you a support feel, can give you a setup feel for you, too, and it can also carry if you need. Manticore's done a great job here with this, and then, obviously, now they have Meerkat. I don't see how they lose.
Right now, Kenneth looking at the chat.
Was he getting advice from chat?
I think he was getting advice from chat.
Oh my goodness. Well, Minotaurs, I don't know how they win then.
By the way, Kenneth has taken over the team already.
Yeah, Just Lion's been kind of relegated to the back.
Just Lion, with his first selection, puts himself on the bench, apparently.
Right.
Great job there. Adapting, just like, give me your phone. Just give me this real quick.
Well, hold on.
I'm taking over.
If you're not careful, they'll see there's nothing on here, and they'll know that it's just for show.
Is that Dota Underlord?
No, I'm not currently in the middle of running a Knights Warlock Turl team right now. That's not happening. Minotaurs, though, are about to make their pick. Let's get down to Coop.
Pick Warlock.
Also from Renegades, the Minotaurs select Iraffer.
Okay, so Iraffer has been picked up now for the I was like, it's over for them. They did not have they did actually have support. So this is interesting. They already had Aurora on this team then for the Minotaurs. It's Just Lion, Aurora, adapting Shinto, and Raffer. So which one of these players is going off role? I don't think they have a traditional solo laner yet, so they must be planning on sending one of those players there at this point. They've got Just Lion, Hunter, Aurora, who plays support, and Raffer. Shinto made adapting jungle.
Interesting. I mean, if it wasn't adapting jungle, I'd say they're going to make Raffer turn back the clock and play the jungle the way he did eons ago. It's not even worth mentioning in a competitive sense.
Sure.
He wasn't even that good at it.
Ooh.
But for right now, I don't know. I'm eager to see where those guys land.
All right, sounds like we've got another interview lined up, though. Aggro should be down there with world champ Meerkat of the collegiate level.
Thank you very much, guys. Mirk, you fall much further than what the camp kind of expected. I mean, are you going to have some words with Dinosaur here about letting you slip this far in the draft? It was risky.
I don't think I should have been drafted, but
What?
well, pretty much every one of my teammates played better than me, and Shinto played better than me, and Death Panther did too, and well,
Yep.
Sibby didn't, so I got that going for me, I guess.
Yeah, but like you just got the intangibles, Mirk. You're bringing that ranked experience. You've got a. Did any of the other scrubs win a collegiate world title?
No, they didn't, and these are all good points, and I think you've convinced me.
Glad that we're all on the same page now. I mean, look, I know you're going to run it down, but are you going to run it down with something different this time, or can we expect triple chalice the whole way?
I've got a large pool of available options to me that people really haven't seen. I've been on Smurfs for years. I've gone BM by Zap, man, you name it, all right? I got things you'll never even begin to imagine.
Pure horror across the way. You guys can't see it, but the other booth shaking in their boots. They're getting chills right now, as we all are. Back to you on the desk.
No, I can feel it. I'm a little nervous here myself, too. Wow, that's a lot of talent they got there in that one room.
I love that Ryan mentioned it. You know, we are having a little bit of fun. You know, Meerkat, a little bit of self-realization there. But the intangibles, the grit, the grind, the dedication, the thought process, the mentality. Meerkat, a miracle.
Just an effort player there for him. The Titans are about to make their last pick. Let's get it down to Coop.
Speaking of a miracle, Funball will go to the Titans.
Funballer selected.
Speaking of a miracle, what?
You don't associate miracles with Funballer in any way, shape, or form?
What is that even supposed to mean, Cooper?
I'm not sure.
What
I
are
mean,
you saying, Cooper?
if that's anything like how Cooper makes the rest of his decisions, then it all makes sense to me now.
Is it even off? Is it nice? Is it not nice? I don't even know with what tone to take that comment as.
Yeah, do we have someone else we can give a microphone to announce the
Can
picks,
we get
by the way?
Cooper on the line to see what he meant by that? Actually?
No, I mean, we don't want to bring the quality of this fine program down. Don't put Cooper on any more than we have to at this point. So.
Well, Funball, man. I mean, this guy's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he just made some pretty nice plays
Hey,
too.
Finch, keep it down. Keep it down. All right, thanks.
Keep it
Appreciate
down.
He comes back and he doesn't even give us the answer.
He had
What does
one
it
thing to
mean?
say, and that's what Key provides to us. Keep it. Come on, Coop. At this point, it's just a little bit embarrassing. But I mean, Funballer just made that huge play with the Zhang Kui. He's been having a ton of fun playing all kinds of stuff that aren't traditional hunters in the role, and that could be hugely valuable. I mean, Snoopy had the set earlier. Clearly, that's a big deal.
I want to see Funball come in and play the most boring hunters the entire.
Wait, can they
tournament.
pick? They don't have an SML player, do they? No, they have Mass. Never mind. I'm sorry. Okay, they're good. They're good.
That doesn't seem like an SNL player.
That's exactly
Yes.
why I got confused. I'm like,
'Cause
Mass isn't an SML player. That works.
I want to see Funball come in and just play Rom.
The most hunter you could be
just
at this point. Well, Juggernauts
click.
are the ones that are picking. This is the team that I think right now might just be the best team that's been selected. Layers, Cyclone Spin, Trix Tank, and Deathwalker. They don't have a mid laner yet. They don't have a SML player yet. So I assume they're getting an SML mid laner at this point. Death Panner probably is who they would go with.
Is
then,
the
right?
mid laner the only one they're missing?
Yes, they've got Layers in the jungle, Cyclone Spin Hunter, Trix Tank support, Deathwalker solo. Yeah. So I imagine then that's where they'll be going. We'll have our chance to see though. Cooper announced us that last pick.
With the last pick, the Juggernaut selects Snoopy.
That makes some sense. Snoopy is certainly a strong player, so
Hey, that's fine. Okay.
Fine, okay. What's up, Fine?
Oh, that's Snoopy.
Yeah,
Never
get
mind.
Fine instead. Can we have Fine up here?
Hey, Fine. Can you?
What a handsome guy, right?
Fine's a cool dude.
Love me some Fine, okay.
I love his A to Z series.
That's yeah, I actually do. I
Big
do.
fan,
I
big
do.
fan.
Fine, okay, so putting out a ton of content, great streams. Certainly worth checking out. But Snoopy has been selected for them, and I was saying that they didn't have anyone to go in this middle lane role, but Snoopy can certainly do that. Plays a ton of Vulcan anyway. Maybe they'll put him there.
I mean, you want to go down memory lane. Snoopy, the original multi-position substitute. He used to fill in for Denial Esports when Jeff Hinla played support for Pain Devion's Hunter.
Right.
And Snoopy would be the one to come in whenever anyone was missing. If Rudolph in that solo lane was gone, you'd have Snoopy kind of step up or fill in for the Hunter mid. And so Snoopy coming in, doesn't matter what position you need him to play, you get Snoopy, Evan Man Jones there, and you gotta love it, man.
Yeah, and no guarantee he's the one that's moving off his role. I mean, he might have Cyclone Spin, move around. There's a lot of flexibility for these teams. So with that, the last pick, I guess I'll just run through them real quick one more time to make sure everybody knows. The Juggernauts, that's a team captain, Layers. The Jungler from Hype, they have Cyclone Spin, Trix Tank, Deathwalker, and Snoopy. The Titans team with Matt Coys as their captain. The support from Mimesis, they've got Venenu, Benji, Mast, and Funballer. Minotaurs with Just Lion, the Out Cold Hunters, their captain. Aurora adapting, Shinto, and Raffer. And then Manticores that had Dinosaur from Rival as their captain and support. They have Kabam, Baskin, Cheerio, and Meerkat on their teams.
So breaking it down one by one, starting with the Layers team, I think that solo squad, or I think that team is likely to put. You're going to have a weird support there. I think we could see either Deathwalker in the support position or Snoopy in the support position. Cyclone Spin, I think it would be unlikely to see him there. I like him better on the carries.
Yes, I think so too. Wherever he is, you want him somewhere that can just win the game for it, because that's the kind of thing Cyclone's been doing his entire year. I think that Juggernaut's team has a chance to be really strong. The one I might have a few questions about is Manticores. How are they going to look? That's Dinosaur, Kabam, Baskin, Cheerio, Meerkat. I mean, obviously Meerkat gives them a ton of win potential, but do they have anything else on that team? I'm just not sure. I mean, where are they going to end up coming out could be a question for me.
The prowess, the combination of Meerkat Kabam is like a Pizza Hut Taco Bell. You got to love it for what it is, and I think it could be exciting to watch. The after effects might be a little bit different, but there in the moment, it should be really fun.
I certainly think that team can be strong. Just Lions team, Aurora adapting all on the same team. Super exciting to see Shinto as well, so that one has some potential too. But sounds like we do have one more interview. Polar Bear Mike is the one that's standing by for it. I wonder what it is that he has to say.
Yeah, thank you very much, Finch. Mike, I mean, you were a top-tier contender coming into this, but you lose to one minor league team, and all of a sudden you don't get picked. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, rough loss yesterday. We were thinking about it, and it was, do we want to have a longer vacation, or do we want to do well at this tournament? So we were thinking, take a quick 2-0 and just see what happens,
I mean, there's one team in particular we're all thinking about. It's this man to your left, Baskin, Meerkat teaming up with him again. Oh my God. I mean, does anyone else stand a chance?
No, I don't think so. I've read a lot of comic books, and normally when there's no kryptonite against Superman kind of goes off. So I see Superman and the kryptonite teaming up. That's just a beautiful thing. It brings a tear to my eye, and it's just going to be beautiful.
It's an emotional scene out here in the break room. We'll throw it back to you on the desk.
Yeah, can I say it is also just a travesty no one picked Polar Bear Mike up? I mean, talk about sitting on your brain. Talk about brain throwing. That's another man who gets a lot of that stuff done. So kind of a bit of a travesty has been picked. But here's the bracket for tomorrow. I'll try and give a little bit of context for it to you all here. Juggernauts and Titans. Remember, Juggernauts is Layers' team, Cyclone, Tricks Tank, Deathwalker, and Snoopy up against Matt Koi's team is the Titans, Venenu, Benji, Mast, and Funballer. Other half is Minotaurs. That's Just Lion, Aurora, Adapting, Shinto, and Raffer up against Manticores, Dinosaur, Kabime, Baskin, Cheerio, and Meerkat.
I think it's going to be Minotaurs versus either Juggernauts or Titans.
Yeah, that top bracket seems really close, but obviously, you picked Minotaurs over Manticores, the team with Meerkat on it? Okay.
Oh,
sure.
I made a mistake.
Yes, you meant to say Manticore. Gotcha, obviously, of that course. Remember, those semifinals are best of one. Then they'll be going to the finals, which will indeed be a best of 3. 11 a.m. we will be wrapping up the midseason invitational. Those finals will be Splyce coming against Renegades, and then after that, we're going to have the Splyce Invitational. So, Tom, thanks for joining me. You got any closing thoughts for after this draft show?
I absolutely do. Never say best of one. Single game series. One shot, one opportunity. Single game set. All valid opportunities. Best of one makes no sense.
Yeah, thanks, Tom, for those closing thoughts. Very valuable. Can't wait for those best of ones tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching the draft show. Remember, MSI tomorrow. We will see you all then.